What's up, Server Nation? This is Mighty Mike, the podcast server, and you are listening to ProcessServerDaily.com. Guys, I'm super excited about today's episode, and if you have a story that you want to tell that you're excited about, maybe a dog chased you, maybe a guy tried to shoot you with his gun, maybe you had a heartwarming story where you helped somebody in need. Guys, I want to hear that story on this show. Go to ProcessServerDaily.com/be-a-guest. Find some studio time. Go to ProcessServerDaily.com/be-a-guest. I look forward to speaking to you and hearing your story. Let's get to the show. Welcome back to the show, Server Nation. We are joined by the owner of Magnum Diego Priority Services. He has over 17 years experience serving papers. He owns 3 companies in the Denver, Colorado area, and he's well known for mentoring others across the nation. Steve Glenn, welcome to the show.
How you doing, Mike? Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming on the show. Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in this industry.
Well, we got started in this industry. Actually, I followed at the time, fiance into this industry. She took on a part-time job serving papers. There's some things I saw I didn't like. I didn't like her serving debt papers in bad areas of town, so I decided I would go with her. And we just took off from there. She would get the papers. I would serve them. We became pretty successful, and then we decided to start our own business.
And the business is born.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. So there's a reason why you're on the show. You have a lot going on. You're full of great experiences. First, tell me about your worst experience working in the field.
As a process server, one of the most frustrating things that ever happened to me serving papers was finding out that people actually lie. You know, that they actually lie to you. You know, that they'll tell you, no, I'm not Michael Smith. No. And then you go away thinking that they've told you the truth. And then you come back because you found out that it was actually them. And then you have to go through all these hoops in order to find them and catch them again, because now they know what you look like. They know what your car looks like. And they're just avoiding.
That's really frustrating.
Absolutely. But, you know, there's what I did, you know, from that experience, because I've always take those negative things like that happen to me and turn them into positive by creating techniques to make sure that doesn't happen to me anymore. And that's how I became good at serving papers, because I'm known in this state as, if you can't get it served, then send it to Steve and he'll get it served, because I don't play around.
That's the way to be, I'll tell you. Well, there's, you know, everybody has their ups and their downs, and I got to tell you, people lying to you is one of the most frustrating things. You know, Facebook has always been a good tool to use right before you knock on the door. You know, if you even think for a little bit that they might lie to you, having a picture of them is always helpful.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. The funny thing, if we talk about having pictures of people, most of the time I get pictures of people that don't even look like the people that I'm serving. And so it's like, you know, my clients say, well, do you want a picture? I'm like, well, if you got one, send it over. If I need it, I'll use it. But most of the time I don't, because, you know, if you just pay attention to what people say, you pay attention to their eyes, and you learn to ask questions one after another, they can't keep up with the questions that you ask. It's just becomes a natural conversation.
Because they're faking it.
Oh, exactly. And another thing is, if I come to your home, Mike, and a male answers the door, I'm just going to say, hey, Mike, how you doing? And then I listen to the response. Now I know I got you, or I got another Mike. Well, if you tell me you're another Mike, then I want to see your ID.
And if I don't want to show it?
Then I'm going to serve you by refusal, because then I can go do my due diligence, and I don't have to chase you over God's creation, because I've got you served. Now, if I find out that, yes, it's a new Michael living in that house, it's not him, I print out another set of papers and I go back after it, and I don't produce an affidavit.
So, Steve, what I take most from your story and from your experience is, honestly, that, you know, you're going to get this. When people lie to you, you know, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. So knowing how to handle it is the best way to go at it. So, Steve,
absolutely.
Tell me about
preparation. Preparation is the key to success in this industry, because if you're not prepared for the people to lie to you, you're not prepared for how the rules work and what you can and can't do, then you're not going to become successful. You're not going to be successful, and you're going to run yourself out of business.
That's right. So, Steve, that's some great tips that we have for the new servers out there. Even the experienced servers, I think, can relearn this kind of stuff. Tell me about your greatest experience working in the field.
My greatest experience is taking the knowledge that I've learned over 15 years and the success that I've had and actually mentoring other people to become successful. People come into this industry and they become successful, but what they find is, I might be a good process server, but my God, I run myself out of business because I didn't learn how to run a business. So what I like to do is to work on, when I mentor people, on the business side and on the serving side, because our real business is service. We're in a service-oriented business, and just think about it like this. I can be the best process server on this side of God's creation, but if my customer service sucks, they won't be around long enough to find out.
What I take most from that is, guys, get out there, go do a good job, and then follow through. I always say that serving the paper is just half of it. You got a proof of service to deliver, and if you do it in just the right way, what do they call it? The wow factor?
Yes, exactly. You have the key. Our work product is the affidavit, and if they're always telling you misspelled a word, or the affidavit's wrong, or you forgot to notarize it, or whatever, or the invoice is wrong, or when they call you and you don't return their call, it doesn't have to be. I can't answer the phone fast enough because people are calling me about the association. They're calling me about mentoring. They're calling me about these things. My office is calling me. I miss a lot of calls, but I call my people back 5-10 minutes later. That's what they want. They want to know, half of this game, Michael, is confidence. And you're never going to have confidence if you don't do the right things you would want to have done to you if you are the client.
That's perfect. So, Steve, what are you working on right now? You're doing a lot. You're mentoring people. You got your business. You got the association. Your wife's an investigator, too. All the things you have going on. What are you most excited about? What are you working on right now?
Well, I'm most excited about, we own 3 companies. We just bought Checkmate Inc. a year and a half ago. Right now, I'm focused on doubling the size of the company in the next 3 years. If we do that, then we'll be at about $1.3 million a year. And I don't say that to brag because I'm not a bragger, but the thing I'll tell you is that how many lives I touch, how many employees I have, how many process servers I have that are making, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year. In doing this, we're going to bring private investigation to the 500 law firms that we are actually already inside doing service and process. So we're going to build more and stronger relationships with these clients. There's a old saying in sales that if a client has 3 of your products, then they're there long term. They're there forever. It really takes a lot to lose them. Checkmate's been around for 30 years. Magnum Diego's been around for 15, and Checkmate has clients that have been with them for 25 years. And so I'm excited about the future because I think that like we have kind of shaped the profession of process servers here in Colorado of the professionalism, and we've upgraded that, and people now are starting to mimic that. I'm hoping that we can do the same thing on the private have the same kind of a success on the private investigation side. Let me say this to you, Michael. The whole idea is to have, because there's, if you ever heard of the cash flow quadrant where you're either an employee, self-employed, business ownership, and then investor. Well, we want to be in the business ownership realm where we're managing, leading our company instead of always out there doing the work. Then when I retire, I have something that I can sell.
That is definitely something worth being excited about, Steve. I got to tell you, just the whole business. I took a personality test, and I didn't even know that being an entrepreneur was one of the 16 common personalities. It's like 2% are entrepreneurs. And so I took that, and I was like, well, I guess it's confirmed. I'm always going to own my own business.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things that I think is people come into this industry, and most people start not looking at establishing a full-time business. What they do is they look at establishing a part-time income. But then they start saying, well, God, these people are making a lot of money. And what I want people out there to know is I'm an average guy. I graduated high school through the 12th grade. I never stepped a day in college. I never took a business class. I never took any of those things. But there's a lot of money to be made in this profession for people who have honesty. I'm not an administrative guy. I'm not. I'm a hunter-gatherer, but my wife is administrative, so I teamed up with someone that can do my administration, and that's how we built our business. So there's a lot of money to be made here. So if you're going to come here and you're going to do this, you got to decide it way early in the game if you're going to be a process server or you're going to be a professional process server. It's because there's a huge difference between the two.
Server Nation, Steve has been dropping some major value bombs on us today, but prepare yourself because we're headed into the rapid fire round right after a word from our sponsors. Server Nation, I know you're with the times and you want to do whatever you can to have all of the resources for your client. That is why I created 123efile.com. As a process server, attorney, or even an improper, you can visit the website and file your documents in any of the Tyler courts in California. With its easy-to-use, one-page operation, you can have your e-filing done in a matter of minutes and get back to what really matters. If your time is important to you, visit 123efile.com. Welcome back to the show. Steve, are you ready for the rapid fire round?
Let's get it done, man.
What is your favorite skip trace tactic?
Wow. You're gonna say this is rapid fire? There's so much involved in that. What I will tell you, okay, here's the most important thing I can tell you about skip tracing, and I teach it nationally. I mean, I've been on TV, I've been all this, but here's the most important thing. Skip tracing, it's an art, not a science. And when you understand that, then you look at the data that you collect differently. And when you look at the data differently, then you interpret it, and then you can determine where someone is just by the laws of probability. But if you think that just because you do put a social security number in, what are you going to do when that thing comes back with 5 different addresses that show current in 2018? So remember, it's an art.
What is your favorite tool for defense?
The dad look. Actually, my favorite tool for defense is serve them and leave them. I'm not their counselor. I'm not their pastor. I'm not their priest. So when they ask me, what is this about? I'm halfway to my car and I say, call the attorney.
That's really good advice. I can't tell you, you naturally want to stay there when it's like a single mom crying, I don't have rent, what am I supposed to do? You're sitting there like, you could do this and this and that and this and that. I could give them probably 12 things, but you got to be careful.
Exactly, because when you start creating the habit of standing there and answering their questions and being compassionate and doing those kind of things, what happens is you're going to take that habit to the next door. So the guy's going to ask you, what's this all about? And you're going to start explaining, and then he's going to get mad, and he has nowhere to get rid of that pissed off energy except for on you.
Right.
Serve them and leave them.
Serve them and leave them. That's a good one. What book would you recommend?
The most important book that I probably read in my entire life was Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. Once I learned that I could control me, I can control my brain, I can do anything. Even when I'm tired, I can do anything. So that would be the one book I would tell people to read would be Unlimited Power, and the original one by Tony Robbins. You can get it in paperback. You can get it at the library. It's a great book.
Yeah, I have it on Audible. It's a great book.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that guy. He's just such a real guy, Tony Robbins.
He changed my life, man. When I'll tell you the story. If you got a second.
Yeah, definitely.
You're kind of captive, right? But I had gone through a depression when my father had died, and he came to town, and I paid for a ticket to go. And in the middle of this first day, we were doing an exercise, and I wrote down on there, Steve Glenn, you do so much for everybody else. But I realized at that time I had never said, Steve Glenn, I love you. I never told myself I love you. And I cried and cried and cried and cried. And then when we had to walk on the coals, I was pissed off because it looked like the pit next to me was hotter. And but it changed my life. So after I read the book, a guy told me, he said, you read the book, and the next 30 days will be the best 30 days of your life. Well, I was struggling selling insurance and investments, and in that next 30 days, I got my first what we call comma check. It was $24,700 off an investment that I sold. And I attribute it to that book. And then my success has just come rapid fire after that. Even my success that I've had that's been kind of unheard of what people have been doing in this industry now, with all the things that I've learned in that book.
What is the greatest advice you've ever received?
No matter what you decide to do in life, be the best. If you're going to be a garbage man, be the best damn garbage man there is. If you're going to be a bank robber, be the best damn bank robber there is. Just don't bring your ass home. Now, when I say that, now you know who told me, my mother.
That's awesome.
The second thing she told me was this. She says, you got to go out and be the best you can be and do people right. You're going to make mistakes, but it's not that you make a mistake. It's how you handle it when it's brought to your attention. If you make a bunch of mistakes, you can change the name of your company, but you're still going to be Steve Glenn. Those two things is what drive my life, because I'm not going to do anything that's going to harm you. If something happens and it doesn't work out, I'm going to apologize and I'm going to help you fix it. But I'm not going to do something to harm you on purpose. Just not going to do it. And I'm not going to be a garbage man, and I'm not going to be a bank robber.
I'm like, that's some great advice right there. That's straight from the mom's mouth right there.
Oh yeah. You know what I know? She would have turned me in. I'd have told her I'd rob the bank. She would have turned me in.
She would have drugged you down there by your ear.
I certainly would have went.
That's awesome. So that was a great rapid fire round. We got lots of great tips from you, Steve. Steve, tell me, you were a member of the association?
My wife and I founded the association, and I'm the only president they've had. Nobody wants to step in my shoes because of all the things I've done. And I'm like, I'm waiting for somebody to say, well, I'll help them. But yeah, I'm the founder and president. Yes.
What would you say the best benefit, like the number one benefit of joining an association is?
I can remember, it was like our second meeting we had. I had one of my clients come in to talk to us about trespassing and stuff like that. And one question was asked, and someone else said, "Oh, you think you know everything?" And then the other person said, "I think you know everything." And it was like, who wears the biggest hat in this room? So I escorted the attorney out. I stopped the meeting and I said, "Look to the left, look to the right, look in front of you, and look behind you. These people are not your enemy. They're not even your competition. What they are is resources of things that you don't know." So what I was able to do was to bring a lot of people who thought that I can't share anything with you because you're my competition. And that I changed that mentality, because now we help each other. Now we're family. That's what this is about, because I promise you, there are things that I don't know, even doing this for 15 years, that people help me with. And there's a lot of times I probably help a lot of people out because why? It's because we're family. And if you can't do it, then I need to help you do it. Why? Because I need good people, honest people with work ethic in our profession in Colorado, so we can run out all the yahoos. Because the yahoos are the ones that screw up our business. There's so much to be learned from other people. And if you don't understand that it's about team and it's about not just about you, it's about protecting your business, then you've already lost.
So tell me, okay, I joined an association, right? How much is a Colorado association?
Well, in-state members, full members is $100. All members from out of state are $45.
Oh, wow. So you can become a member if you're in another state.
Yes. And let me tell you what the benefit is. And I'm going to tell you what sets Colorado's association apart from other associations. You and I talked about your podcast. I'm going to do whatever I got to do to support you. Why? Because this is an education platform, and I believe in educating and mentoring people. And so our association, on a monthly basis, we take off a couple months throughout the year, but we have training that we stream live across the internet. You don't even have to be a member to come. If you want to know about safety, plug into the meeting. I think this weekend we're having a meeting in regards to difficult serves. We're going to talk about the 10 most important things when you find difficult serves. And I'm going to help some people with some difficult serves that they don't even know I'm going to help them yet. And it's just all about mentality. If I can go do it, because I'm not anything special, if I can show you what I do, then you can go and do it. And that's what this thing is all about.
So, Steve, tell the listeners where they can go to be able to access that.
Well, first of all, go to the association website, P as in Paul, S as in Sam, A as in Apple, C as in Charlie, O as in Oscar.org, and click on the meeting. And then it'll give you everything you need to know. I'll be updating it and sending out a blast email to tell people where the link is, on the GoToWebinar, and you can join us.
That's perfect. And do you guys have a conference every year?
We have a conference. I think we missed 1 year, but we have a PACES education seminar, and this year we'll be going over social media. I've got a lady that is in college right now. She's being courted by the CIA and the FBI to come to work with them in their social media branch, and she is a phenom. She's like Michelle Stewart, but she's going to teach a lot of different things, things that Michelle Stewart doesn't teach you, like how to create a fake Facebook page or how to create a fake social media profile so that you can do these searches without people knowing that you're the one that's doing it. I mean, she's going to be awesome. And we're going to broadcast that online too. We're going to vet the people because we can't have civilians in there. We got to have people who are either private investigators or process servers, but you can get in. And it is a paid event, but online it's not going to be that much.
Well, that's going to be a really cool resource for the Colorado guys, but not just the Colorado guys. I mean, nationwide, right? People could just log in and...
Yes, we've had skip tracing. We've had how to build a business, if you're going to try and market and sell your business. We talked about, we've done all kinds of things, and we just put it right there on the internet for everybody to see.
Oh, wow. That's a really cool resource. So, Steve, to wrap things up here, tell me what your parting piece of advice would be to the struggling server out there that just got started, or maybe they're struggling to build their business and it's circling the drain. What should they do?
Find a mentor. People, it amazes me, Michael, that people don't understand what creates success. And the first rule, and I'll promise you, the first rule of success is that successful people are always willing to help other people who really want to be helped. That's why I've mentored so many people here in Colorado. I've mentored people across. Gary Young out of California. I remember me and him were just laughing the other day because he called me, and I think we talked for like 2 weeks straight, Monday through Thursday, for the 4 hours I was out serving papers. And by doing that, I taught him how to serve papers. Now he makes six-figure income. Successful people like to help other people. So don't be afraid to ask. They'll make you qualify for your time. And I always give people a test. And I'll tell you what the test is, and I'll tell you what the answer is. Mike, if you wanted me to mentor you, I would say, sure, I'll do that. Call me Monday before 10. If you call me at 10:01, I'm not interested in helping you. Mm-hmm. Do you know why? You can't even be here on time the first time. If you don't have a commitment, I know when I take the time out of my busy day to mentor you, I know I'm going to give you everything I've got. But if you're going to be 1 minute late or call me the next day and say, I forgot, I don't have time for you. So you just have to, here's what I'm going to say. Here's the most important thing I'm going to tell you. There's a lot of money to be made out there. There's a lot of clients out there. You don't have to steal them from people. All you have to do is decide you're going to work hard, live right, find something you believe in. And if that's something you believe in is not process serving, not investigation, then don't do it because you've already lost.
That's some really good advice, Steve. And I'm really excited that we're able to have you on the show to be able to share that with the audience. We could probably talk, if I just talked what I wanted to talk about, probably for 2 or 3 or 4 hours like you and your friend. But what I take most from your story is go after it.
The most important thing is you take a step. Tony Robbins talk about T, take effective steps. So basically you want to take a step, find out if it's being effective, and then make small changes to get to where you want to go. The key to success is the same in process serving as it is in investigation, as is being a paralegal, as it is as being an attorney. It's all the same, just some of the words change. Dedicate your life to something that's going to be bigger than you, and then buy in 100%. You'll win. I promise you. You work hard, live right, find something you believe in, you beat 90% of the people without even getting out of bed.
Man, dropping some value bombs right here. We're going to have to share this thing all over the internet.
Hey, Mike, I want to tell you something. I love people, and anybody who's been around me or gets around me, what they find out, I'm just going to tell you like it is. I'm going to tell you what I did. I'm going to tell you why I did it. And I'm going to tell you if you do the same thing, you can have the exact same thing that I have. I'm not special. I really am not special. I'm just a guy with 5 brothers and sisters, a brother and 4 other sisters, and I'm just a common guy, no college. And if I can do this, you can too. It's that simple. Tell
my listeners, what is the best way that we can connect with you, and then we'll say goodbye.
You can connect with me through the PSACO website, psaco.org, through any of my companies, Magnum Diego. If you Google Steve Glenn, Colorado, you're going to find me. Hell, I'll give you my cell phone number. Call a brother, 720-286-8255. 253-5773. If I don't answer, I'm on another line. I'll call you back, I promise.
So, Steve, I want to personally thank you for coming on the show, and I've been impressed with your story, and I'm excited to share it with the world.
And one last thing. If you want, then give first. That's the key. You're not going to be successful by keeping everything you know to yourself.
Until next time, Server Nation, you've been served up some awesomeness by Steve Superfly Glenn and Mighty Mike, the podcast server. Server Nation, I want to personally thank you for listening to that awesome episode. I hope it was valuable to you. I know it was to me. I want to invite you to visit psduniversity.com. This is my new website dedicated specifically to help you learn the tips, tools, and tactics that many of the most successful servers that I interview and that I myself use. Visit psduniversity.com and get a copy of my new book, Process Server Basic Training. Until next time, Server Nation, stay safe out there.